Easy English Podcast.
From Speaking with Class.
Hello, English learners, and welcome to another great lesson with us here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're bringing you a great upper intermediate lesson.
That's right. We're going to talk about a topic that's been in the news recently. And this topic is...
the bird flu.
That's right.
So can you tell us what the bird flu really is?
Basically, the story is a lot of chickens and birds keep getting this disease. And they've managed to pass this disease to humans. And the fear is that humans will start to pass this disease to each other. And a huge, huge number of people in the world could get really sick.
Okay.
Yes.
So it sounds scary.
Well, it may be a little bit scary, but we do have some interesting language. We've got language to talk about a disease and language that you might use in a planning meeting at work.
All right. So let's start by looking at our vocabulary preview for this dialogue.
Vocabulary preview.
Okay, the first word on our vocabulary preview today is contingency plan.
Contingency plan.
Contingency plan.
Contingency plan.
So a contingency plan is a
plan that you make to prepare for an emergency.
So like a backup plan.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
Contingency plan. And our last word for the vocabulary preview today is pandemic.
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 So a pandemic is something scary.
Well, yes. It's an event where a disease affects a lot of people. Like we're talking millions of people.
Okay.
And it spreads very quickly.
Uh-huh.
And it goes international.
Okay, so a disease that spreads very fast and goes everywhere.
Exactly.
Okay.
Pandemic.
Okay, so we're ready to listen to our dialogue. We are going to be at a business meeting where people are talking about a contingency plan.
Well, right. Let's move to our next order of business. As many of you are aware, in recent weeks there has been a lot of media coverage surrounding this bird flu issue. And it's come to my attention that our company lacks any sort of bird flu contingency plan.
Basically, we need to come up with a clear plan. We need to outline specific actions that our company can take to maintain critical business functions in case a pandemic strikes.
So what I'd like to do is first appoint someone to look after drafting our plan. Ralph, I'd like you to head up this project.
Sure, no problem. What issues do you want me to consider?
Well, let's see. There are a few points we need to be thinking about. First, I'll need you to analyse our numbers and figure out what kind of financial impact an outbreak might have.
You'll also need to think about how we can avoid any of our employees getting infected. Think of ways to reduce employee-customer contact, perhaps some IT solutions that will allow our people to work from home.
I guess you'll need me to forecast employee absences as well, right? And I'll think about the impact this will have on our clients. Hey, what about vaccines? Should we be thinking about getting vaccines for our employees?
Exactly right. So I'll leave this to you, and well, we'll review the draft plan in 2 weeks. Okay, so anyone want to order some KFC for lunch?
All right, what an ironic meeting. They are talking about the bird flu and they are going to have chicken.
Yes, after sneezing all over.
Yeah, I guess now we could take a look at our language takeaway for this dialogue.
Language takeaway.
We heard a lot of really useful language in this dialogue, and right now we're going to look at 4 different words from the dialogue. The first one is critical.
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 We've got some examples of this word that'll help us to understand the meaning, so let's listen.
Example 1.
It's absolutely critical that we increase our sales. If not, the company will go bankrupt.
Example 2. We have a critical shortage of food. If we don't get help, people will die. Example 3.
This is a critical step in the process. You can't make a mistake here.
So when something's critical, it's basically
Really important, really urgent.
Right. Okay, great word. Critical. The next word we have is outbreak.
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 An outbreak.
So an outbreak is a sudden start of a disease, right? Mm-hmm. Can I say, oh, I got an outbreak of flu? Can outbreak describe one person?
No, an outbreak means that it's infecting a lot of people.
Okay.
Not only one person.
So that we could say there was an outbreak of the flu at the office.
Right.
Which there was.
Yeah, a lot of people got sick here with the flu.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you tell us about our third word?
Our third word is forecast.
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 Forecast. So to forecast basically means to predict.
Exactly.
For example, you talk about the weather forecast.
Yep.
Okay, great. And the last word for our language takeaway is vaccines.
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 So vaccines are something we all had when we were children.
That's true.
They are injections that you get to prevent you from getting sick later.
Right. So an injection of medicine from your doctor so that you don't get a disease in the future.
Right. When we are small, we get polio vaccines.
Yeah, or measles vaccines.
Measles,
yeah.
right. A lot of common diseases.
Yes.
Okay, so that's all for language takeaway. Some great language related to health and disease. But we also heard some great business-related words in this dialogue.
That's true. There's a lot of words that you can use in a planning meeting. So let's look at those now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
In today's Fluency Builder, we're going to look at 4 useful phrases. Now, this first phrase you can use when you want to change the subject at a meeting. Let's listen to what they said in the dialogue.
Let's move to our next order of business. Let's move to our next order of business.
Okay, so let's move to our next order of business. It's a great way of saying, let's move on.
Exactly.
Let's pass to the next topic. Mm-hmm. Great.
Speaking of passing to the next topic, we heard another really interesting phrase in the dialogue. Let's listen.
We need to come up with a clear plan. We need to come up with a clear plan.
So we need to come up with a clear plan. We need to
Think of
a clear plan.
Yeah, yeah.
We need to come up with.
Yeah. Okay, our third phrase we heard in the dialogue is this.
Okay, I'd like you to head up this project.
So this phrase, head up, this is a great phrase.
It means I'd like you to lead or take care of this project.
Okay. And the last phrase for Fluency Builder, you can use when you want to give someone the responsibility of a job. We heard this.
So I'll leave this to you. I'll leave this to you.
So I'll leave this to you. This is, you take charge.
Exactly. I'll leave this to you.
That's a great way of delegating a responsibility. And so we're going to leave you to listen to our dialogue a last time. And be sure to pick up all the great vocabulary that we just talked about.
Well, right. Let's move to our next order of business. As many of you are aware, in recent weeks there has been a lot of media coverage surrounding this bird flu issue. And it's come to my attention that our company lacks any sort of bird flu contingency plan.
Basically, we need to come up with a clear plan. We need to outline specific actions that our company can take to maintain critical business functions in case a pandemic strikes.
So what I'd like to do is first appoint someone to look after drafting our plan. Ralph, I'd like you to head up this project.
Sure, no problem. What issues do you want me to consider?
Well, let's see. There are a few points we need to be thinking about. First, I'll need you to analyze our numbers and figure out what kind of financial impact an outbreak might have.
You'll also need to think about how we can avoid any of our employees getting infected. Think of ways to reduce employee-customer contact, perhaps some IT solutions that will allow our people to work from home.
I guess you'll need me to forecast employee absences as well, right? And I'll think about the impact this will have on our clients. Hey, what about vaccines? Should we be thinking about getting vaccines for our employees?
Exactly right. So I'll leave this to you, and well, we'll review the draft plan in 2 weeks. Okay, so anyone want to order some KFC for lunch?
Okay, great. So this contingency plan idea is really interesting, right?
Yeah, it makes sense for a company to prepare in case there is an outbreak of bird flu. I mean, they need to maintain their critical business functions, even if all of the employees are sick, hey?
Right, I guess that's really important, and you have to forecast all these possibilities, like people are going to be away from the office, or even forecast less sales, etc.
That's right. The interesting thing is that businesses that may not actually be involved in food production or raising chickens or something like that are making these contingency plans. I find that really fascinating. So it seems there is a lot of fear out there about the possibility of a pandemic.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll come out with a vaccine so we don't have to worry about these things.
That's true. But until then,
we'll have to create contingency plans.
That's right.
Okay, guys, we're out of time today, and I hope you enjoyed our lesson and found all these words and phrases really useful, and you can apply them in real life.
Hello, and welcome. We're so glad you're here. In this episode, we're taking on a serious and very real topic, something that affects health, workplaces, and everyday conversation, disease outbreaks, and how people talk about them in English. Our focus today is on something that many people have heard about, bird flu or avian flu. This disease doesn't just affect chickens and birds. It can sometimes spread to humans, and that's what makes it dangerous. In some situations, diseases like this can grow quickly and affect entire populations. When that happens, we use the word pandemic. But this topic isn't just about health. It's also about planning. In this lesson, you'll hear important English phrases used in business meetings, especially when people are preparing for emergency situations. You'll learn how to talk about a contingency plan, which is a backup plan in case something goes wrong. You'll also hear workplace expressions like head up a project, forecast absences, and come up with a clear plan. This is real-world English. It teaches you how to talk about serious topics like disease, prevention, and emergency action, while also helping you grow your fluency in professional situations. And don't worry, we'll make it easy to understand. You'll learn words like outbreak, when a disease spreads quickly, critical, when something is very important, and vaccine, a medicine that protects you. These are the kinds of words you might hear in the news, at the doctor's office, or at work. So, let's begin this journey. Whether you want to improve your health vocabulary or get better at business communication, this topic will help you see English more clearly and prepare you for anything life brings. When people hear words like bird flu, pandemic, or outbreak, it can feel scary. But these are also very real parts of modern life, and being able to talk about them clearly in English can help you stay calm, informed, and prepared. Let's start with the word outbreak. This means a sudden increase in disease. For example, there's been an outbreak of bird flu in several areas. This word is used often in health reports, news articles, and business discussions when something spreads quickly. Another important word is pandemic. This is when a disease spreads across many countries or the whole world. You might hear, health experts are warning about the possibility of a pandemic. Then we have avian flu, another name for bird flu. It's a virus that usually spreads among birds but can sometimes infect humans. This is why it's taken seriously. You can say, there's a risk of avian flu spreading to humans. They're monitoring poultry farms for signs of the virus. One more important term is vaccine. A vaccine protects people from getting sick. In English, people say, scientists are working on a vaccine. There's no vaccine available for this strain yet. You might also hear the phrase flu-like symptoms, which means things like fever, cough, or body aches, the signs that someone might be sick. You could say, some workers have reported flu-like symptoms. The company is asking sick employees to stay home. When talking about disease in English, it's also helpful to use calm, clear expressions. There's no need to panic. We're taking preventive steps. We're monitoring the situation closely. These are the kinds of phrases you'll hear in workplaces, news interviews, and official health messages. So, even though these words deal with serious topics, they help you stay informed and communicate with clarity. Whether you're reading an email from your company or watching the news, knowing terms like outbreak, pandemic, vaccine, and flu-like symptoms helps you understand the world around you and speak about it confidently in English. When health emergencies like bird flu or a possible pandemic arise, companies need to act quickly, not just to protect their employees, but to keep their business running. In English, there are specific words and phrases companies use during these times, especially in meetings and official communications. One very useful phrase is contingency plan. This means a backup plan, something prepared in advance in case the normal plan doesn't work. For example, we need to put together a contingency plan in case the virus spreads. Do we have a contingency plan for staff shortages? Another key word is forecast, which means to predict the future. You might hear this in meetings. We're forecasting high levels of absenteeism. Let's forecast the number of people who might work from home. The phrase head up is also common in business English. It means to lead a project or team. For example, Sandra will head up the task force on health safety. Who's heading up the planning team? In the podcast, a company manager says they're preparing for a worst-case scenario. This means thinking ahead to the most serious situation, not because they expect it, but to stay ready. You can say, we're planning for the worst-case scenario, just in case. Hopefully it won't happen, but we need to be prepared. You might also hear, keep the team updated. Get approval before making any major changes. Communicate clearly with all departments. All of these phrases help teams work together when something serious affects the company, like a possible outbreak. So, if you ever work in an English-speaking environment and there's a health issue or emergency, you'll hear this kind of language. And now you'll know how to understand it and even use it to communicate clearly, stay calm, and contribute to smart planning. In a health emergency, communication becomes very important. Whether it's in a team meeting or through email, people need to give clear updates and ask smart questions. In English, there are common, professional phrases used in these situations, and learning them helps you stay calm and confident during serious moments. Let's start with how to give updates. You'll often hear phrases like, just to keep everyone informed, here's the latest on the situation. We've had several reports of flu-like symptoms this week. These short, clear phrases help you begin a report or message in a respectful, organized way. You might also hear, we're tracking the numbers closely. We've reached out to local health authorities. The situation is developing, and we're responding step by step. Now, let's look at how to ask useful questions in a professional way. During a meeting, you could say, do we have any guidance from public health officials? What's our plan if more staff members call in sick? Has the leadership team approved our next steps? These questions are respectful, smart, and focused, perfect for emergency discussions in English. If you're leading a meeting or speaking to your manager, use action-focused expressions like, we need to act quickly, but carefully. Let's not create panic, but we should be realistic. We should prepare to support employees who need time off. Sometimes, people will say, let's not jump to conclusions. This means, let's wait for more information before making big decisions. It's a great way to encourage calm thinking. And when you're not sure about something, you can say, can we clarify the plan for remote work? Is there a backup if too many people are out sick? What's the timeline for our next update? These phrases help teams make decisions and work together under pressure. So whether you're updating others or asking the right questions, these are the tools that help you stay clear, polite, and effective in English, especially when the stakes are high. In emergencies, people feel worried. In these moments, clear and calm communication matters more than ever. Whether you're a manager giving guidance or a team member asking questions, knowing how to express yourself with the right tone in English makes a big difference. Let's begin with a useful phrase from the podcast. We don't want to create panic. This shows that you understand the situation is serious, but also want to keep people calm. You can add, we're taking this seriously, but staying practical. We're following facts, not fear. Another helpful way to speak is to acknowledge the uncertainty, but still offer structure. Things are changing, but we have a plan in place. We're monitoring updates and adjusting as needed. Let's stay flexible and focused. Phrases like as needed or step by step help show that you're being realistic, not overly hopeful or too negative. When giving updates to a group, you can start with calm language like, at this point, We don't have any confirmed cases. We've increased sanitation efforts around the office. Remote work options are being reviewed. If someone asks about the worst-case situation, a professional way to answer might be, "That's part of our contingency planning. We're preparing in case that happens, but hoping we won't need it." It's also useful to express support and unity. You can say, "Let's support each other and stay informed. Everyone's health is the top priority. We're all in this together." Finally, to encourage calm behavior in uncertain times, use phrases like, "Let's wait for official information before making changes. Please speak with your manager if you have concerns. We'll share updates as soon as we know more." These expressions show leadership, respect, and responsibility, all in clear, polite English. So whether you're in a meeting, writing an email, or just responding to a colleague, the words you choose can bring calm during crisis. Speak clearly, listen well, and you'll build trust in both your message and your English. When health concerns rise, one of the most common things people need to do is report symptoms or request time off from work. In this part, we'll explore how to describe how you're feeling, how to speak professionally about sick leave, and how to respond to health-related updates, all in simple, useful English. Let's start with how to talk about being sick. You might say, "I've developed flu-like symptoms. I have a sore throat and a slight fever. I'm feeling very tired and achy." These are clear ways to express your condition. You don't need to use complex medical terms. Just describe how you feel. If you need to stay home, you can say, "I'm staying home to rest and recover. I'd like to take a few days off to avoid spreading anything. I'll keep my manager informed and work remotely if I feel up to it." You may also hear professional language from your company, such as, "We encourage anyone feeling unwell to stay home. Employees experiencing symptoms should contact HR. We are allowing flexible sick leave during this period." If you're a manager or team leader, you can respond supportively with, "Take the time you need. Your health comes first. Let us know if you need anything. We'll adjust the schedule while you recover." When someone shares their situation, kind phrases help maintain trust. "Hope you feel better soon. Thanks for letting us know. Take care of yourself." In meetings or emails, companies may use phrases like, "We're forecasting more employee absences this week. Let's build in flexibility in case team members are out sick. Our goal is to support staff while keeping operations running." These phrases show planning, support, and respect, key qualities in health-related communication. So whether you're reporting symptoms, offering support, or explaining a sick policy, using clear and kind English helps everyone feel safer, understood, and cared for. And that's how we bring not just flu prevention but fluency into the workplace. When a health crisis or emergency affects the workplace, companies often use the term business continuity. This means keeping the organization running, even when things are difficult. In English, there are clear and professional ways to talk about these challenges and the steps people take to respond. One important phrase is, "We need to ensure business continuity." This simply means we need to keep the business going even during hard times. You might hear, "We're reviewing our continuity plan. Let's identify essential tasks that must continue." A helpful word in this context is remote work. Companies often allow employees to work from home when going to the office isn't safe. You might say, "We're shifting to remote work this week. Is your team set up to work from home?" Another useful term is essential staff, people who must be present even during disruptions. For example, we need to decide who counts as essential staff. Some roles can be done remotely, but others need to stay on site. You may also hear, "Let's build a rotation schedule to reduce the number of people in the office. We'll stagger shifts to limit contact. We're implementing flexible hours." These are all strategies that help companies stay productive while protecting employees. During emergencies, many businesses create a task force, a small group responsible for managing the situation. You might hear, "The task force is meeting daily to assess the situation. Let's send updates from the task force every morning." If decisions need to be made quickly, people often say, "Let's move forward with the plan. We need approval before changing procedures." We'll make adjustments as new information comes in. All of this language helps teams stay focused, supportive, and well-organized, even when things are uncertain. So, in times of crisis, knowing how to speak about business continuity, remote work, essential tasks, and team coordination gives you the tools to stay active, helpful, and fluent in any professional setting. In health-related situations, especially when dealing with possible outbreaks, people in the workplace often need to share updates, offer warnings, or communicate changes in policy. In English, these messages are usually formal, polite, and carefully written or spoken. In this part, you'll learn how to use this kind of language with clarity and confidence. Let's begin with sharing news. When a company gives an important update, they might say, "We've been informed of a potential health risk. There has been a confirmed case in our region. We are taking proactive steps to ensure safety." The word proactive means to act early, before something becomes a bigger problem. It's a powerful word in professional English. When giving a warning, formal phrases often sound calm and respectful. For example, "We advise all staff to remain alert for symptoms." "We strongly recommend avoiding unnecessary travel." "Please take extra care when interacting with others." These expressions don't create panic. They offer guidance in a clear, helpful tone. You might also hear polite instructional phrases like, "All employees are asked to follow updated safety procedures." "We ask that you report any illness to your manager." "Kindly avoid large group gatherings for the time being." These phrases are common in emails, company memos, and announcements. They help people understand what's expected while maintaining a professional and respectful tone. If you're responding to this kind of communication, you might say, "Thanks for the update. I'll follow the new guidelines. I'll inform my team about the changes. Please let me know if there are further developments." It's also important to know how to ask questions politely. Would it be possible to work from home this week? Is there a written version of the new policy? Should we postpone the team meeting? In serious situations, professional language brings structure and calm. It keeps everyone focused and shows respect, even when the topic is difficult. So whether you're writing, reading, or listening, these kinds of formal expressions are key to handling emergencies and sounding confident in English when it matters most. As we reach the end of this important topic, one thing becomes very clear. Emergencies can happen anywhere, anytime, but when they do, strong communication makes all the difference. And when you can use English to speak calmly, give updates, ask questions, and follow instructions, you're not just improving your language. You're becoming someone others can trust in difficult times. In this episode, you've learned how to talk about serious issues like outbreaks, flu-like symptoms, pandemics, and vaccines. You've explored workplace terms like contingency plan, forecasting absences, business continuity, and remote work. And you've heard how to use real, respectful English to support your team with phrases such as, "We're taking this seriously, but staying calm." Let's prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. We'll keep everyone updated as things develop. These are the words that help you guide others, stay focused, and stay human, even during stress. You've also learned how to describe symptoms, request time off, offer support to colleagues, and respond to company policies using polite, clear expressions. In short, you've practiced the kind of English that doesn't just come from textbooks, it comes from real life. So, whether you work in an office, a school, a hospital, or from home, you now have the tools to speak English with confidence, even when the topic is difficult or unexpected. Thank you for joining us here on the English Smart Podcast, where we turn everyday situations into real learning moments. Keep practicing, stay safe, and remember, strong English isn't just about perfect grammar. It's about connection, understanding, and being ready for whatever comes next. Until next time, take care and speak smart.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. An issue that must be discussed. Order of business. Flu originated from birds that carry virus. Bird flu. A plan that prepares for a situation where things can go wrong. Contingency plan. Extremely important. Critical. A situation where a disease is spread out very quickly and affects many people in many countries. Pandemic. Make a first version of something. Draft. Major influence or effect on something. Impact. A sudden start of disease affecting many people. Outbreak. Lead and be responsible for. Head up. Predict what is going to happen based on available information. Forecast. Medical substance that protect people or animal against diseases. Vaccine. Let's try that faster. A situation where a disease is spread out very quickly and affects many people in many countries. Pandemic. Predict what is going to happen based on available information. Forecast. Flu originated from birds that carry virus. Bird flu. A situation where a disease is spread out very quickly and affects many people in many countries. Pandemic. A sudden start of disease affecting many people. Outbreak. An issue that must be discussed. Order of business. Medical substance that protect people or animal against diseases. Vaccine. A sudden start of disease affecting many people. Outbreak. Flu originated from birds that carry virus. Bird flu. A sudden start of disease affecting many people. Outbreak. Lead and be responsible for. Head up. Predict what is going to happen based on available information. Forecast. Lead and be responsible for. Head up. A situation where a disease is spread out very quickly and affects many people in many countries. Pandemic. A plan that prepares for a situation where things can go wrong. Contingency plan. Make a first version of something. Draft. Flu originated from birds that carry virus. Bird flu. An issue that must be discussed. Order of business. Make a first version of something. Draft. An issue that must be discussed. Order of business. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Critical.
It's absolutely critical that we increase our sales. If not, the company will go bankrupt.
Impact.
The cost savings plans have a positive impact on our profits.
Draft.
I'm going to draft an email. Can you read it when I'm done?
Contingency plan.
The purpose of this meeting is to develop a contingency plan in case the workers decide to strike.
Forecast.
John, please tell us about the forecast revenues and expenses for the upcoming month.
Outbreak.
This outbreak has already caused more than 1,000 deaths.
Head up.
If I receive the promotion, I will be heading up the implementation of new policies.
Critical.
It's absolutely critical that we increase our sales. If not, the company will go bankrupt.
Impact.
The cost savings plans have a positive impact on our profits.
Draft.
I'm going to draft an email. Can you read it when I'm done?